Hey, Shalom.
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Salakia for that. First and foremost, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Kakwadash, and of course, double honors once again go out to the apostles, elders, and bishops, great millstone, who continue through the Holy Spirit to give us His truth. All right. This is Naaman with the EC Camp, and what you see here is a video from Dabu 777, and I'm going to be using this as an example. All right, for you people that, for some reason, you don't want to understand and accept that this place is through. All right, we're talking about this whole system, this oppressive, Salakia, this oppressive Edomite rulership is at its end, and they're trying to hold on as best they can. Anyway, this is the Fair Use Act disclaimer. This site is for educational purpose only, and this is why I'm using that video. I do not intend to profit off of it. All right, fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. All right, it says fair use is a doctrine in the United States copyright law that allows limited use of copyrighted material without requiring permission from the rights holders, such as for commentary, criticism, news reporting, which is what I'm doing here, research, teaching, which is also another thing that I'm doing, or scholarship. It provides for the legal, non-licensed citation or incorporation of copyrighted material in another author's work under a four-factor balancing test. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. We have told you that for all of you that are just in your pursuit of happiness and attaining material wealth, you think that's going to save you? No, it's all kinds of scriptures, and I will be getting those that are as an example as to why not. And it's actually common sense. This man owns the printing presses. He owns these institutions, these banks, all right? And I don't know, a lot of you are still under the spell that you are actually entitled. You got to understand, I'm talking about for our people. This man hates us. They stole our land. They pretend to be us. And as such, under that stolen legacy or inheritance, they've created the biggest criminal organization known to man. All right, and if you criticize them and call them out, they claim anti-Semitism. And we know that there's no such word as Semite. All right, but hey, it's brilliant in its wickedness. But like the scripture also say, and let's get this. Let me get it real quick. As soon as this loads, Salakia. Like I said, it's brilliant, and it was brilliant in its wickedness. They took things that pertain to us and how we would treat the heathen, flipped it around, established a banking system off of that, you know, where we talk about not committing usury, you know, interest and all that. And they used it. This is how they screwed over the world, pretending to be us. All right, so yeah, here we go. This is Sirach 19 and 22. And it says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. All right, it's not. It's perverted. All right, but our people have come to see it as such, meaning wisdom. This is the thing to do. This is the way to be, because you're following in the footsteps of a people that the Most High Himself hates, in the scriptures on that. All right, we'll get those too. But this is coming to the point where, and I'm talking to you people that got the jab. I was going to say something else, but if at this point you don't realize that you have been duped, all right, actually you've been used, you haven't figured out that there's something bigger going on here at this point, then, what can anybody say to you if you're that far gone? All right, that, like I said, you you were set up. They used your love of. Really, they used the love of country. I'm not going to say the Most High because you all don't know the Most High. You all know Jesus. They used your love really of country and your faith in science, all right, against you. All right? That's the cold hard facts. But let me go ahead and roll this video. But this is something that for you people that got your money in the banks, they're coming after that. All right? They are trying to, Macron, whether he intended to or not, let the cat out of the bag, because this is something he probably got called on the carpet for that, I would imagine. But like I said, he didn't be specific. He wasn't specific about it, but the whole thing is making the people who hold out, making their lives as miserable as they can. That's the plan, so they can break you. So let's go ahead and roll this clip here.
This is Yahoo 7. A big time alert here for those that have money in the bank. You might want to take this seriously. It's time to get that money out of the bank if you're unjabbed, and if you're in a certain area, and this could start to spread like wildfire. Seriously, folks, we now have multiple countries that let's look here what's going on in Italy, saying that come the 20th, if you do not have
This month, January, it's next week, as a matter of fact. What?
Shopping malls, the same in Argentina. That's right, multiple countries. India on the list. Canada on the list. Nigeria on the list.
Nigeria. Ghana too.
We have multiple countries around the world making these moves, and they are stopping people from going into banks. And if we look at the situation with cities that aspire
This
fund
Jamie Dimon, this piece of shit.
what does JP Morgan Chase announce today with Jamie Dimon? He threatens to fire unjabbed workers. Ladies and gentlemen, the writing is on the wall. It's time to make moves, boycotts, and motions, and get very serious about this. Or you're going to be stuck like Chuck. Again, for those that have money in the bank, you better start thinking long and hard about what's happening around you. I'm going to break this down further on the next live stream. Censorship-free live. Follow me on Twitter and Getter. You'll find links below. Hit that subscribe button.
See, for those of you that were deniers, that fanned your hand for people such as ourselves that are out there on the highways and byways, on the corners, trying to tell you what's really going on, all right, look how it snuck up on you. You laud and praise these pulpit pimps that were set up to deceive you. Why did they not tell you of these things? That you are actually in Revelation 13, 16, well, from 13 on down. That you are at, 11, Salaki. That you are in this phase now, and you are going to have to make a choice. So why weren't they dissuading you? Why? Because they are under 501c3 charter. There are things that they can't speak out against as such. So they have taken that bag. See? They had no interest in saving your soul. They want to see how many homes they can get and Mercedes and sending their kids to college. All right? At your expense. That's what it was set up to do. That's what it was set up to do. To deceive you, keeping you from knowing who you really are. And you all just laugh it up. Look at those guys out there on the corner wearing those garments. Of course, you don't call them garments, you call them dresses. You know. But every movie that Esau puts out with similar situations, not necessarily the same, where certain people are mocked, Salakia. They're trying to tell you the truth, but you're looking at something altogether different because you've been trained to look at, well, if he's driving these expensive cars and he's got all these homes, he must be right. And that's the exact opposite. That is the exact opposite. But let's stay on point here because your money. And the apostles had said years ago, there's something here called bank holidays. All right, and you saw that picture at the beginning. Let me go back. That's why he's got this right here. See this? This is way back in like the 20s. So as I go here, bank holiday. Before, and this is the in caption here, it says People's Wayne County Bank. It says, before the Banking Reform Act of 1933, keeping your money in a bank was not a sure way to save. If the bank made unwise investments, the bank could fail and depositors' money would be lost. Here, depositors line up outside the Detroit bank hoping to get their savings back. See, the whole thing here is to buy enough time to institute this new system they want. All right, and that's to go everything to go digital. In case you didn't know already, it's too much freedom in having paper currency and coin. All right, you can do things, you can make money off the book, so to speak. They don't want that. They want to be able to observe and tax everything that you do. More control. That's the ultimate goal. You are human resources. You're not, and you're going to take the human off of that. You're just a resource. All right. It says in days past, depositing money in a savings account carried a degree of risk. If a bank made bad investments, and the beloved elder Tazadakba, he did videos on this talking about how did it go? What was the exact term? Where banks don't hold, it's like 10%. All right, but they'll loan out way above that. Now, if we were to do that, we get locked the hell up. I can't remember the exact term, so Salakia. Yeah, that's how they operate. It's all fraud at the end of the day. All right. It says sometimes simple rumor could force a bank to close. When depositors feared a bank was unsound and began moving their funds, the news would often spread to other customers. Fractional reserve bank. That's what the term I was Salakia. That's often how these things work out. All right. Fractional reserve banking. All right. What the elder was referring to. All right. It says the news had often spread to other customers. This often caused a panic, leading people to leave their homes and workplaces to get their money before it was too late. All right. These runs on banks were widespread during the early days of the Great Depression. In 1929 alone, 659 banks closed their doors. By 1932, an additional 5,102 banks were out of business. Families lost their life savings overnight. 38 states had adopted restrictions on withdrawals in an effort to forestall the panic. But this is supposed to be your money. So you have to understand, this is the illusion that was presented to us. All right? You as the people were always the enemy. All right, it says bank failures increased in 1933, and Franklin Roosevelt deemed remedying these failing financial institutions his first priority after being inaugurated. Roosevelt, unlike Hoover, was quick to act. 2 days after taking the oath of office, Roosevelt declared a bank holiday. From March 6th to March 10th, banking transactions were suspended across the nation except for making change. During this period, Roosevelt presented the new Congress with the Emergency Banking Act. The law empowered the president through the Treasury Department to reopen banks that were solvent and assist those that were not. The House allowed only 40 minutes of debate before passing the law unanimously, and the Senate soon followed with overwhelming support. No, he was set up to do that. He was put in there to do that. Banks were divided into 4 categories. Surprisingly, slightly over half the nation's banks were deemed first category and fit to reopen. All right, and this is something you can read. He go into his fireside chats, which he was another thing he was famous for, supposedly communicating with the people. It's all bullshit at the end of the day. Something to lull the people to sleep. But in any case, let's get these scriptures proving that this shit was all set up. All right, and this man was just biding his time to perfect. All right, and biding more time to establish his new world order, which is what he really intended to do. Let's go to Zephaniah 1, because our people, you want so much and have allowed yourself to be molded in the fashion of your enemy, and that's these so-called white people who are biblically the nation of Edom, descendants of Jacob's brother Esau. This is Zephaniah 1:11. Says, "Howl, ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off." And that's coming. And this is for people that actually had silver. They actually had not paper money, not this debt, this Federal Reserve note, not this debt note. They actually had precious metal. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees. And so many of our people, all right, are just consider themselves fat and happy. And that's what this is talking about, settled on their lees. You think you've made it. Oh, I got the house, the white picket fence, the 2 or 3.5 children, the happy wife. No, that ain't gonna work. That say in their heart, the Lord, the Most High Yahweh, will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. Remember, this is about the Most High's people. And as such, he says what? He's going to visit them first. It says 1 Peter 4:17. It says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua?" All right, so these people that you hugging up with that are not of your nation, they don't have a chance anyway. 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? In short, our people have wasted precious time in worrying about, specifically in this case, people that the Most High don't care about. So why should you? All right, going back to what I said earlier about these pulpit pimps telling you lies every Sunday, Wednesday, whatever day in the week that you go. And you sit up there and eat it up and not ask questions. Just go there to wear your Sunday best, dance, do the boogaloo, the Charleston, whatever else dance. All right? Acting all crazy and shit. Not learning a damn thing. It's so sad. It really is. So sad. Let's get some more scriptures. Let's go to, James. What did James say? Let's go to James 5. It says, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. And that's mainly talking about these elites. All right. These are, going to Isaiah 32nd chapter, verses, I think it's 5 through 7. All right. These are, your churls and those people, that actually, all right, make the policies and call the shots behind the scenes. All right. For behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, all right, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, because capitalism is built on the premise of which is the exploitation of the lower classes. Yeah, it doesn't matter which system you call it, fascism, capitalism, socialism. It doesn't matter if the people on the top are some evil, wicked bastards. So you got to get it in your head, don't matter what you call it. Because just ask the people that, whose foot these motherfuckers got on our necks. Capitalism has been way worse for us as a people. All right. And that's again when at the top I talked about these people that pretending to be us. This is the system that they set up. You get into your Alex Smith and all this stuff. I'll leave that to you to research. But man, that's why Daniel 9 and 12 talks about. Nothing has been done. It's been done to us. All right, because this system that was built off of us and continues to profit off of us. All right. 5, it says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and they have. Oh man, Psalm 73, Job 20th chapter, Job 21st chapter. All right, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and have been wanton. All right, undisciplined. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. See, one thing they hated during that so-called civil rights era was that they are exposed. Emmett Till, that's, they replaying that. I think Jay-Z and Will Smith came up with, it's called The Women of the Movement. All right. And, that's been playing the last few days. I saw the first episode. I don't know if anything has come after that. But, yeah, talking about Emmett Till. So, yeah, these devils were exposed, and people knew beforehand what was going on. But you got to understand, these are our enemies also. Psalms 83. They had hey, First Maccabees 2:10, they had an invested interest. As such, they also made money. All right. See, no one has been our friends. No one is our friend. And that's the thing we have failed to realize. All right, because we have been civil rights, so-called, uh, was very bad for us. Anything that has to do with diversity that they throw in our face, it always loops around and kicks us in the ass, specifically. And everybody ends up profiting except us. All right, hey, got to throw that out there because this is all, one big mess. But yeah, with this bank holiday stuff, this is something that Dabu 777 was talking about. You got to take that very seriously because they are trying to break us. They want you to get this shot. This has never been anything about a certain or a so-called pandemic. They use that as an excuse because whatever's in this thing they want in you. This is that fourth industrial revolution, as Klaus Schwab wants, and he's a Rothschild, by the way. They traced his lineage. All right. So this is them wanting to set up that new world order. In case you didn't know, now you know. All right. So things are moving quickly here, quickly. All right. So this is the time to stay prayed up, stay in the scriptures, don't get sidetracked. All right, because hey, that's how the devil works. All right. Hey. So with that, hey, shalom.